basically lied on his CV. I knew he was lying. He knew that he was lying. He knew that I knew that he was lying, but he would not stop lying. And I was looking at him like, bruh, like, come on. To my channel, welcome back to Up On It. I'm Charlene. So today's video is going to be for those of you guys who have a little bit of anxiety when it comes to interviews, and to be honest, we've all felt it, because like, who the hell am I going to meet? What are they going to ask me? Like, what if they throw a surprise question in there and I can't answer it? It's the fear of the unknown. I think a lot of the nervousness that comes when it comes to interviews is because you don't know what they're going to do, what's going to happen in that room. I'll be able to share with you some top tips, you know, whether you're interviewing for a Saturday job or for a paper round or for an internship or a grad program, or you know, whatever the case may be, a job in a shop. You will be able to use these top tips to really demonstrate that you are able to, you know, do the job that you've applied for, that will prepare you and help you feel comfortable and confident in the skills and the abilities that you have. The most important thing when it comes to interviews is actually like being honest, which sounds like pretty straightforward, but actually just being honest. Like, don't lie on your CV to get a job, because they will catch you out. Years and years and years and years ago, I was interviewing this guy, and he was he just basically lied on his CV. I knew he was lying. He knew that he was lying. He knew that I knew that he was lying, but he would not stop lying. And I was looking at him like, bruh, like, come on. And you don't want to do that, because it's embarrassing, and also you're wasting your own time and you're wasting the interviewer's life. You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're honest and you're genuine, and you want to be able to back up everything you put on your CV or in the application form in that interview. You've got to remember that people have you know, reviewed loads of different applications. They've picked you because they feel like you're good enough, and that should make you feel comfortable, and that should make you feel confident. It's just about demonstrating that you're willing to do the job and that you can do the job, and that's what you have to think of when you go into an interview. So feel confident that out of all the people that applied, you are there because they think that you can do it, and they're trying to bring out the best in you. They're not trying to, unless you've lied, they're not trying to catch you out. They're just trying to bring out the best in you, so that, you know, you perform well, to show that yes, I actually can do this role. One thing that is crucial for being able to answer an interview question well is understanding what type of interview that you're going into. So is it a strengths-based interviews where they want to know what you're good at? Is it a competency-based interview where it's all based on the competencies they expect everybody in the organisation to have? Is it based on their values? Is it more of just like a general chat just to see who you are and what your interests are? Understand what type of interview you're going to. That will help you prepare a lot better. The first thing I always say is proper preparation. So by that, I don't mean just going on the website and just picking out random historical facts to regurgitate in the interview. I mean, you know, look out for those news stories, the things that are important to that organizations, things that they are proud of, initiatives that they've done, things they've done in their community, whatever it is for you that makes that place actually an exciting and interesting place to work. Talk about that. So when you look at the news stories, and you look at the blog on the website or whatever, pick out those kind of stories and show that you have good commercial awareness if that's relevant for the role that you're going for. I think it's really important to show that, like, your motivation for wanting to work there, and people like hearing that, you know, you like what they're doing. So if you gas them up a little bit, that's always quite nice, and it shows that you're genuinely interested. So I think that's a good way to prepare to talk about the overall organisation. And then I think the other thing is when you come to the job description itself, you know, a good way, you know, we have LinkedIn these days, like literally Google and find people on LinkedIn, search on LinkedIn to see who has a similar type of role or internship or whatever that you're going for, and see what they've described that they do. And also, people forget, but you can actually pick up the phone, and if it's a general question, there's no reason why you can't just say, hey, I had a question around this role, please could you give me some more information. Another way I would say to kind of be prepared is also to practice. So when I was going to interview for one job, I literally wrote down every question I thought they were going to ask me, and I made my dad practice with me that whole evening. He would ask me a question and I would answer, and I felt in myself more confident, and it took away the nerves. I think when you feel like you're in control and you're not going to be surprised, I think that always really helps, and it also reminds you of your own skill set. I think sometimes when you answer questions, you're like, oh, I have done this, and you kind of start to connect the dots. So practice. Another big thing to do do, I would say, before the interview itself is to actually go to where you're going to. So if you've never been there before, if it's in the city or somewhere you've never been before, actually get the tube or the train or, you know, whatever to go to that place and navigate your way around the area. So, you know, God forbid the Jubilee line is late or the Central line decides it's got a system failure. You're not rushing out trying to now get on Google Maps to try and find where you need to go. You've been there before, you know where to go. So I think doing a test run of where you're going is, I think, is a good idea. If you are going to an interview in one of these big buildings, think of the fact you have to queue up to register and then they take you to wherever you need to go. You want to give yourself enough time to do that, because it's not just the place that you enter is where you're interviewing. They might have to take you somewhere, so always factor that in to arriving in good time. I say to people all the time, it's actually when you're offered a drink, you know, water or tea and coffee. When I said drink, you lot were thinking something else. Always just say yes. Like, I think it shows that you're comfortable and you feel confident and you're in control. So if they ask you for, you know, do you want water? Just say yes. Do you want a tea or coffee? Just take a tea, put it down. I'm sure at some point it will help you anyway when you're thinking or when you need to calm down. It's just good to have like a water there. So I would say always say yes to having a glass of water next to you. Another thing I think is super critical and important is having your own interview technique. So I always use the STAR technique: situation, task, action, result. I'm one of those people where my brain sometimes moves faster than my mouth can catch up with, which means I'm thinking ahead a lot. And so in order for my thoughts and my mouth to catch up, it's good for me to have like a plan in my head. So if I lose my train of thought, I can be like, where was I? Okay, I was here. And so having that technique of situation, task, action, result for me has worked really well. And I know it works really well for other people. So how do you do it? How do you demonstrate that? There's a difference in answering a question by listing. So, you know, tell me about the experiences you've had at university. Oh, I was president of the hockey team. I was also part of the Model United Nations. I was led a bake sale. All great things, but actually you're not talking about the skills and the results that you got out of those. Always think results focused. How does what I'm saying demonstrate the results that I got? So always think results based. So an example would be, the situation that we were in was that I was a secretary for the African Caribbean Society and we were having our big show of the year called Culture Fest. However, ticket sales were lagging a bit behind. So task was to promote and create awareness of this show so that people would buy tickets. The actions that I personally took was creating a social media campaign, creating promotional videos to share so people would have a buzz around the event. I would also go onto campus every lunchtime and share leaflets and talk to people and engage with people who were in the canteens and in the cafeteria to tell them about what's going on. The result of this was that we had a complete sellout show 2 days in advance, and we were able to make a profit, which we were able to then donate to a charity of our choice. So that's how you would use the STAR technique. And also remember to say I when you're using the STAR technique. Always say I. It's only time you're okay. It's okay for you to be selfish. So always say I. I remember once I used to say we a lot, and you know, we as a team, we did this, and that's great. You know, you can work in a team. But someone once said to me, "What did you do?" And I always remembered that. So I always have to say I. In interviews, always say I. What did I do to contribute to the success of that? Okay guys, so that is the end of my video today on interviews. I really hope that helps you guys prepare, to practice, to do a little trial run if you need to, and to just feel comfortable and confident. You know, remember that you're there to interview because they see potential in you. You know, you've beaten a lot of people to get to that point, and it's just about demonstrating that you can and you are willing and motivated to do the job. That's all it's about. So just you demonstrating who you are and everything that they've seen on that paper, just bringing it to life, and you know, sharing, you know, your career journey and your skills and your successes in a positive way that shows that actually you're enthusiastic and you're a willing person. And so I'll be back with some more videos for you guys really soon, so stay tuned. As always, if you have any questions, email me, DM me, message me, whatever the case, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. But I hope that's been really helpful for you guys, and I will see you really soon. Bye guys.